For this video, we're graphing exponential and log functions. Since they're inverses of each other, it's kind of handy to do them together. To start it off, we'll do f of x equals 2 to the x. We'll graph that function. So I like making a table. I've picked the x values 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, and -2. And then I'll put in my y values, or f of x values. So 2 to the 0 is 1, 2 to the first is 2, 2 squared is 4, 8, 2 to the -1 is 1/2, and 2 to the -2 is 1/4. So those are my values. So I'm going to go ahead and graph them here. So at 0 we're going to have a dot at 1. At 1 we'll go up to 2. 2 will go up to 4. 3 we're going to go way up to 8. There's 4, 5, 7, 8. Way up there. Then on this side, -1 is 1/2. -2 is 1/4. And you can see the basic form of an exponential graph. So just a minute to take a look at this. The y-intercept is 0, 1, and that's going to be standard. And then you'll notice that these values here, as we're going negative, they're going to get smaller and smaller, but they're never going to cross the x-axis. And the x-axis is acting as what we call an asymptote. It's a line that we're not going to cross. It's going to approach. It's going to get closer and closer and closer, but it's never going to actually cross that line. And then this is what we consider exponential growth. It just goes up really fast. Okay, so first one's a little slow, and then all of a sudden it goes up. Now, to graph the log function on the same graph, so this one is f of x equals 2 to the x. I've labeled here as f inverse. Okay, f inverse of x is log of 2x. We don't have to do the numbers again because it's an inverse, so we're simply going to flip our columns. So what I have in the f of x column is going to be in my x column. So I'll put 1, 2, 4, 8, 1/2, 1/4. And then what I have in the x column is going to go into that f inverse column, the y column. 2, 3, -1, and -2. So we're going to graph these. So now if x is 1, my y value is 0. If x is 2, y is 1. If x is 4, y is 3. Oops, y is 2. Yeah. If x is 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then y is 3. And then down here we're going to go small this way. So at 1/2 we're at -1, and then at 1/4 we're at -2. So our graph is going to look like this. It's a good idea to get familiarized with the shapes of these graphs. All right. So now our 1, 0 point is here, and you can see that these are mirror images of each other. If I were to draw a dotted line equal to x, y, it would go right down there. And so this is, we call f inverse of x equal to log 2 of x. And anytime you're going to graph a log function, I would just first graph the exponential function. It's a lot easier to think about it in that way. And here you can see that the y-axis is acting as the asymptote. It's not going to, the log function is not going to cross that line.